Hello, and welcome to Oak&IV Skyrim. Oak&IV Skyrim is a massively modded Skyrim Let's Play and mod showcase presenting the very best mods that the Skyrim community has to offer. There are more than 400 mods that we're going to be talking about in Oak&IV Skyrim, at least a little bit. But the three centerpiece mods for this episode, and really the three centerpiece mods for the entire playthrough, are E01a, a mod about piracy in the Sea of Ghosts, a mod that introduces new towns, new dungeons, voiced characters. It's a great mod. It's about love and duty and obligation and killing people. There is a lot of killing people. It's also very funny. The next mod that we're going to be focusing on in both this episode and this playthrough is called Icicle Valley. Icicle Valley is one of my favorite mods. Icicle Valley introduces, again, new lands. Icicle Valley introduces a ton, by weight, of voiced characters. Icicle Valley has some of the best comedy in any mod that you're going to find in Skyrim, at least comedic dialogue. And finally, Icicle Valley is built in such a way that you're going to have to complete most of the main quest in order to really see everything Icicle Valley has to offer. This means that Icicle Valley and the kingdom that you end up ruling in Icicle Valley develops alongside your regular Skyrim playthrough. So it's a mod where you can keep going back again and again to the locations, and pretty much as long as you're playing any given character, you're guaranteed to find something new in Icicle Valley. And that's pretty amazing. There are not a lot of mods that can offer that. Finally, the third leg of our Skyrim playthrough is going to be Amorous Adventures. Now, of course, Amorous Adventures is a mod about love and romance and sex. But Amorous Adventures really is, again, extraordinarily funny. It's the best overhaul of vanilla dialogue, the best overhaul of vanilla quests that you're going to find for Skyrim. It makes characters and locations that were quite dull in vanilla Skyrim full of personality, and I cannot recommend Amorous Adventures highly enough. So those are the three main mods for this playthrough, and at this stage our character really should go the hell outside. So I will meet you outside, where you will hear a little bit more about Riverwood, and we will continue with our adventure. Thank you, and I'll see you on the other side of this door. Well, cave exit. You knew what I meant. Wait! There we have Alduin flying off into the distance.
There he goes.
Imperials.
Looks like he's gone for good this time.
A dude.
No way to know if anyone else made it out alive. But this place is going to be swarming with Imperials soon enough. We better clear out of here. My sister, Gerda, runs the mill in Riverwood, just up the road. I'm sure she'd help you out. It's probably best if we split up. Good luck. Wouldn't have made it without your help today.
Alright, let's talk quickly about story progression, where the story wants to take you, and then in character about what Riverwood is thinking and what we see in front of us right now. First off, from a story point of view, you are meant at this point to follow Ralof to Riverwood, to go from Riverwood to Whiterun. I mean, you could stop at Bleak Falls Barrow first, but basically you're meant to go from Riverwood to Whiterun, and from Whiterun into the main quest. It's a story progression that, is something that if you've played Skyrim before, you're very used to at this stage. But Ralof has also made a really good suggestion if you think in character. In character, you and Ralof have just escaped being executed by the Imperials. Ralof is saying that it's best for the two of you to split up, and you know, he's probably right. The Imperials are going to be looking for anyone who knows what happened at Helgen. And if they recapture a prisoner, a former prisoner, well, you're just going to be executed again. So, Riverwood is not really a safe or logical destination, especially as that is where Ralof, one of the people who was actually with Ulfric Stormcloak, is headed. Now, there are a bunch of ways in character that you can play this. You can play it thinking that you're safer with someone who knows Skyrim than you are on your own. Follow Ralof for that reason. Go to Riverwood with him. And assume that since he is an experienced Stormcloak, he would know the best places and ways to get away from the Imperials, and therefore you need his mentorship or you're just going to be captured again. That's a very valid point of view. Alternatively, you can run as far away as you feel like, have as many adventures as you want without ever touching the main quest. And that's what a lot of people do, myself included. Now let's talk Griboag. Griboag was being executed for the crime of stealing spellbooks from the College of Whispers in Cyrodiil. He was not an innocent. Griboag stole those spellbooks because Griboag was a first-level character newly admitted to a guild. And when you're first level and you just got into a guild, first thing you do, rob the place blind. That's what makes you the player character. Alright, that's kind of a cynical view, but hey, that is in fact what I usually do when I first join a guild, and I think that's true for most people. Especially in the TES games. So, Griboag has every reason to believe that the Imperials are still hunting him. Staying in this area, an Imperial-controlled area, for any reason, would seem insane to Griboag. He has no desire to encounter any Imperials. He wants to get as far from the Legion as possible. He wants to run and hide. Now, it's true that Gribo does not know Skyrim, but Gribo came here hoping to find the School of Spellcasting in a place his parents had told him about, Icicle Valley. That was his destination, and so that really is where he wants to go right now. So Gribo has stepped outside of Helgen Keep through the escape tunnel, I suppose you'd call it. We just saw Alduin fly off into the distance. We're getting this offer from Ralof now. And having just seen Alduin fly off into the distance, looking down, we see some dead Imperials, and we see a rather large elf, dressed like a pirate, sitting at a little campsite. So, we're going to go over and we're going to talk to that large elf, and after we've had a little bit of a talk with the large elf, I'm going to make some more comments about the mod that added him, what his story is, and where his story fits into the story of Griboag. Meanwhile, as per Ralof's suggestion, we are saying at least a temporary goodbye to Ralof and to the quests that he could take us to. You okay there? You don't look so good.
Had a bit of a tussle. Orson cut me good. It took your time getting here, you wee git. Bit more funny looking, I remember too.
Alright, this is Captain Mead. Captain Mead plays a big role in the E01a series of quests, and it's a long series of quests. It's a great series of quests. It's one of the main mods that convinced me to do this Let's Play. If we follow Captain Mead, which he's going to offer us the chance to do, then we get to play through that series of quests. But Captain Mead just offered you, the main character, a choice. Depending on the responses you give him, you either accept that he is the same captain that your parents served under, which basically fits you into the E01a storyline as a legacy member of the crew. Or if you reject that path, then you're someone who Captain Meade has mistaken for his nephew. Now, Captain Meade is an alcoholic, thus the name, and he's also seriously wounded right now. So him being kind of confused makes perfect sense. I can accept that he would mistake anyone who escaped for his nephew. In addition to that, my character, Griboag, well, while he does remember basically the tales of the E01a, remember the tales of Smugglers Haven and Icicle Valley, I like to play him as a semi-amnesiac. I like to think that Gribo's experiences at the College of Whispers, Gribo's experiences escaping the college, his time being imprisoned and transported by the Imperials, have left gaps in his memory. The reason I like that is that there are a lot of mods that make assumptions about the past of your character. By playing a semi-amnesiac, you open up the chance for your character to just go with whatever a mod says is your character's past. Whereas if you have a very clear and definite idea of exactly what your character did every day before he came to Skyrim, well, a lot of mods are going to make a lot less sense. Especially for a Let's Play, I like to leave things a little bit loose. So, right now, my character is going to not recognize Captain Meade, even though his parents did serve on the E01a, at least until Meade mentions the E01a. My character is going to basically be thinking elf, but he's also kind of beat up and confused, and he doesn't immediately make the connection between this huge blue elf and the E01a where his parents served. You were waiting for me.
I went to the border, fetch you like your ma asked me to. But when I got there, you'd been arrested. I followed those carts to Helgen. They say, you must have done something pretty awful for them to want to chop your head off like that.
I like these options. So let's go with, you're delirious. We've never met.
Oh? Oh, I get it. In case more Imperials are lurking around. Good idea. Nope, we've never met. I'm just sitting here talking to a complete stranger. Nothing strange here, except maybe me. Say, was that a giant flying Argonian I saw coming out of Helgen?
That thing at Helgen was a dragon.
Oh, good. I thought it was my ex-wife. Lost you in the confusion, but here you are.
And henceforth, it will always be canon for me that Captain Meade was, at one point, married to a giant, flying, fire-breathing Argonian. I refuse to accept any other explanation. You look hurt. Drinking mead probably won't help.
They don't call me Captain Wine, Captain Milk, or Captain Apple Juice. It's mead or it's nothing.
I accept that philosophy as well. Well, right now you have kind of a neutralish, slightly asshole-ish response, or a kind response, a good guy response. I'm going to go with the good guy response. Griboag is not a good person, but as an illusionist, he pretends to be. Sometimes. Is there something I can do for you?
Nah, this is it. You hear that, Elizabeth? I'm coming to join you, honey. But first, do an old salty bastard a favor, will you? Go to Smugglers Haven and have the family fix me body back to the sea.
Again, the jerk response. Sorry, mate. Not going that way. Enjoy your death. And the slightly nice guy response. Fine, but how do I get there?
Go to the Windhelm docks and talk to me mate. He'll take you to my ship, the E01a. If you need it, my rowboat's down by the river there. Or you can take this ugly son of a bitch a horse. Imperials won't be needing him.
The jerk response, well, good luck. The slightly nice guy response. And again, at this point, Captain Meade has mentioned the E01a. Now, Griboag is disoriented. He just saw a dragon attack. He spent how many days, we do not know, being, on the run from the College of Whispers, and then trapped in an Imperial prison, and then shipped off to Skyrim, and then having more crap kicked out of him by the Imperials on the way to his execution. So Griboag has every reason to be disoriented. But the words Smugglers Haven and E01a, those have probably penetrated his consciousness to the point that he's vaguely remembering, or maybe even fully remembering, some of his parents' stories about serving under Captain Meade. So now Griboag is feeling like he knows this person. This isn't really going to change his actions much, but he's going to offer the guy a healing potion at least. What would you say to a healing potion?
I'd say, feck off potion! But you think it will help? I suppose it's made of honey and have a shitload of alcohol in it, does it?
I devoutly hope so. Alright, so now we can either give him our nice potion of healing, or one of the less nice potions of healing that we've picked up. Well, I want to help the guy, but I don't want to help him that much. So, here, have a potion of minor healing. How do you feel?
Oh, wow. Well then,
He is a tall guy.
I feel like 1,000 gold coins. You haven't got any, have you? I guess I'll be on my way home then. I'll be going back to Smugglers Haven by way of Windhelm then. Could tag along if you like.
What a strange man. Look at him go. Bye-bye. Alright. Griboag is now faced with a choice. He can chase after Captain Meade and apparently run to Windhelm, whatever that is called, but Captain Meade seems to be using the main roads, and he's running right past the burned ruins of Helgen, which to Griboag says possibility of running into more Imperials. Now, you and I may know that running into more Imperials is not actually a problem because of the way the game is designed, but Gribo as a character doesn't know that. He is still frightened of being taken in by the Imperials and having his head chopped off again. However, getting to Smugglers Haven to hide, that does sound good to Gribo. It's in the back of his mind now. But Gribo still hopes to find some way of going to the School of Spellcasting, so he has a decision to make. Try and get to Windhelm and Captain Meade, hopefully by a way more subtle than running on the main roads, maybe find that boat that Captain Meade mentioned. Or, alternatively, trying to find some way of getting to Icicle Valley and the School of Spellcasting. But the first thing that Gribo is going to do is some looting. Because look at all this good stuff. Now remember earlier on, well, if you watched last episode, you saw this spell. Loot Magnet. Loot Magnet is a spell that automatically teleports the items on corpses into your inventory. Of all of the spells and scripts that auto-loot for you, Loot Magnet is my favorite. It's easy, it's bundled into Apocalypse Magic, so it doesn't take up an extra ESP slot if you've got Apocalypse Magic anyway. And maybe most importantly, Loot Magnet will not break the vast majority of quests. Now, I'm not accusing other looting mods of breaking quests intentionally, but a lot of quests get broken if the item that triggers the quest is taken from the container and put into your inventory without you opening the container first. And a lot of looting mods will do just that. Loot Magnet generally doesn't. It only works on corpses. It leaves everything else alone. And so you don't have the problem of quests breaking or accidentally stealing things nearly as often. The occasional time when this is a problem, as it was potentially at the very beginning of our walk through Helgen Keep, when what appears to be a body is actually a container that triggers a quest when you open it, those are rare. Very few modders use those. That said, yeah, you'll notice when it happens, and you'll know what the problem probably is. It's still safer than using the auto-loot. And look how fast that was. You no longer have to worry about going to every body in the area. All of these bodies have been looted for you. You do not need to worry about them. I'm not going to do a lot of looting in-game. Normally, I would loot absolutely everything. But mostly I'm going to be looting to show you things like this, the just-in-case note, which is the basic story that Captain Meade just told you. Most of the looting I'm going to be doing off-camera, because I don't want to bore you by looting too much. Your parents asked me to find you once you made it to Skyrim, but the Imperials got you first. Followed to Helgen, imps tried to arrest me. They failed, but I'm wounded now. If you find this and I'm dead, go to Windhelm and take my boat to Smugglers Haven. It's north-northeast of Winterhold. Good luck, Meade. Alright, so a backup note from Meade, and a reminder of what you need to do if you want to continue with E01a. Now remember earlier we said that Griboag was worried about being caught by the Imperials? Well, you may also remember that Griboag is wearing the blood-soaked armor of the Imperials he slew. Or, really, let's be honest here, he is wearing the blood-soaked armor of the Imperials that mostly Ralof slew. That's not good. That is a great way to get Imperials suspicious of you, to get Imperials to, well, attempt to kill you. Again, as players, we know that the Imperials could not give less of a damn that you are wearing the blood-soaked armor of their comrades. That's a flaw in game design. The Imperials should be very concerned about someone running around in Imperial officer armor who is not an Imperial officer. So, in roleplay terms, I'm not going to wear these clothes. Griboag is changing. You got some nice leather boots of strength out of Captain Meade's backpack. Off of some of the corpses that we've run into, a novice mage's hood and a mage novice robe of regeneration. And the only gloves that we have are... oh, wait, some nice black gloves. There we go. Alright, Griboag has changed his look. He no longer looks immediately noticeable as the guy who just escaped Imperial custody. And now he has some decisions to make about where he's going and what he's going to do when he gets there. That was cute. So there's Ralof on the main road. Now this is not really role-playing friendly, but...
See that ruin up there? Bleak Falls Barrow. I never understood how my sister could stand living in the shadow of that place.
She is a woman...
I guess you get used to it.
She is a woman of very limited imagination. But we are in fact going to make the foolish choice to follow Ralof to Riverwood. I think Gribo is still kind of shell-shocked. And being kind of shell-shocked, he's willing to do things that he really shouldn't. Alright, the Guardian Stones.
These are the Guardian Stones. 3 of the 13 ancient standing stones that dot Skyrim's landscape. Mage, eh? Well, to each his own. It's not for me to judge.
You just judge, dude. This book is added by Aurora, Standing Stones of Skyrim. It's a mod done by the same modder who did Imperious Races of Skyrim, Apocalypse Magic, Dwemer Tech, Spectraverse, and, of course, The Great Ordinator. All of those mods are part of this playthrough. And I consider this to be pretty much the definitive Doomstone revamp. I like every one of these powers. The Ethereal Crown, together with Aurora Standing Stones of Skyrim, creates a truly beautiful combination. And I'm flipping through this without actually reading it out loud, because I figure if you do want to read it, that was your chance. Now let's save here, because after all, we've just escaped. And this is a good place to... Alright, now let's continue. Normally I would be picking every flower as we passed for alchemy later, but that's also a little dull to watch as a gamer, and I wanted to show off this. Uh-oh. She looks hostile. We'd better get ready for combat. And we'd better hide behind Raloff.
You won't get away.
No!
Now I know what you're thinking. You just defeated her in the most cowardly way possible. Look, I did kind of mention cowardly illusionist, right? This is a bandit blade master added by Deadly Wenches. Let's click on her, shall we? As you can see, she's only level 1 because your character is only level 1. Nonetheless, you saw that she was putting up a really good fight. Basically, Deadly Wenches adds female enemies, very good-looking female enemies with custom armor, if you so choose, to every one of the enemy factions. People often dismiss the Wenches mods as just being aesthetic mods, but the Deadly Wenches, Hateful Wenches, Forgotten Wenches, and Wenchinator, Dwemer Wenches mods, taken together are really an incredibly good enemy overhaul that just happens to feature boobs. You know, there are worse things than an enemy overhaul with boobs. And to any female viewers, I say, sorry, that wasn't meant to be as offensive as it probably was. And it's still true, and hey, you know, female enemies, just as valid as male enemies. The custom armor that these characters are going to be wearing are from the Terra armor sets. I cannot recommend the Wenches mods more highly. They are an incredible resource if you want an enemy overhaul that is not going to crash your game, or isn't going to crash your game if you adjust the settings. An enemy overhaul that also gives you great control over how many enemies are spawned, when they're spawned, where they're spawned, and when we finally do take a deeper look at the Wenches, we're going to talk more about how that process works. But for now, I'll just say, this part of that overhaul, the Deadly Wenches, incredibly worth your time. And now let us say goodbye to the Bandit Blade Master, and we're going to loot her off camera. Or, more correctly, we're going to loot her using Loot Magnet. There we go. The other nice thing that Loot Magnet does is it lets me loot without putting naked, dead NPCs all over the screen. wolves. And once again, we're basically hiding behind a conjured minions. Because I am a first level character right now, and Gribois doesn't want to die. That's a lot of dead wolves.
You know, you should go to Windhelm and join the fight to free Skyrim. You've seen the true face of the Empire here today.
There's another
Anyone
person.
will know what the coming of the dragon means. It's Ulfric.
There's another person urging us to go to Windhelm.
I'm glad you decided to come with me. We're almost to Riverwood.
I don't really like the way that Skyrim encourages you to murder every animal in the wilderness. There are some mods that more or less fix this. Most of them, unfortunately, use a cloak spell, which puts a heavy demand on your processor. The ones that adjust enemy AI and reduce the confidence of animals are better. And here we are at Riverwood.
Looks like nobody here knows what happened yet. Come on.
Anything else?
Gerda's probably working in her
A
lumber room
dragon!
to keep
I
helping.
saw a dragon!
How about you make some
What?
armor?
What is it
Sure
now,
you
Mother?
have the right raw materials.
It was as big as the mountain and black
Make
as
some
night.
armor. Got
It
it.
flew right over
Just
the
need
barrel.
to.
Alright. I mentioned this before, but what you're seeing right now is Dolls the Child Overhaul. Some people quite legitimately dislike Dolls because Dolls does create anime-style children. And anime-style children really don't fit in the intended aesthetic of Skyrim. So from that point of view, Dolls the Child Overhaul is legitimately something you might not want in your load order. For myself, what I do like about it is, first, it does not require a ton of patches to work with other mods. Normally, with most of the children's overhauls, if you want to have something like Falskar, or you want to have something like interesting NPCs in your load order, you end up having to add a patch so that the children overhaul will not cause the children added by the new mod to look bizarre and freakish. Dolls doesn't work that way. Dolls just replaces individual kids. It leaves the basic textures and meshes for children, for child actors, alone. And this means that children added by other mods are already compatible, and you don't have to do anything to fit them into the Dolls framework, basically. Dolls also gives a unique outfit to almost every child that it changes. Their faces are unique, their outfits are unique. It makes the children easily distinguishable one from another. And yeah, they look a little anime, but not so anime that it really brings me out of the game. So I recommend Dolls the Child Overhaul. If you don't like the look of it, you don't like the outfits, groovy, I completely understand. Go with what makes you happy. I think Dolls is a pretty good alternative.
Dragons
Yeah.
now, is it? Please,
What do you mean by raw
If you
materials?
keep on like this, everyone in town will think you're crazy.
Role-playing
Start by
wise,
adding some
going
leather
and
on the
doing
rack.
some smithing
A
right
lot
now
of weapons and armor need
very
leather for
inappropriate.
straps,
It was a dragon.
fittings,
It'll
that
kill
kind
us
of thing.
all, and then you'll believe
Oh,
me.
right. I knew that.
Gerda,
Brother, Mara's mercy, it's good to see you. But is it safe for you to be here? We heard that Ulfric had been captured.
Gerda, I'm fine.
Dude, your
least
sister
now
is
I am.
gorgeous.
Are you hurt? What's happened?
That's not
who's
actually
this?
something that's ever
One of
a
your
good idea to
comrades?
say.
Not a comrade yet, but a friend. I owe him my life, in fact. Is there somewhere we can talk? There's no telling when the news from Helgen will reach the Imperials.
Helgen? Has something happened? You're right. Follow me. Hod, come here a minute. I need your help with something.
Now, this is
What
something else
is
I
it,
want to
woman?
mention.
Stand drunk on the job again?
Ralof just hung a hat on
just
the
come
idea
here.
that you really should be on the run from
Ralof,
the Imperials right
what
now.
are you doing here?
And Riverwood
I'll be
is
right
in
down.
Imperial-controlled territory. Your character, no matter who you're playing, should be a little bit nervous about hanging out here. Griboag certainly is. Oh, you know, I automatically fell into picking flowers. Sorry about that. I guess Griboag is something of an alchemist.
Can I see your axe? How many Imperials have you killed? Do you really know Ulfric's Stormcloak?
Hush, Frodnar. This is no time for your games.
Yeah,
Go and
Frodnar
watch
is
the
weird
South
looking.
Road. Come find us if you
But
see
at
any
least
Imperial
Frodnar
soldiers
is easily
coming.
distinguishable from
Aw,
every
Mama.
other male child
I want to stay and
now.
talk with Uncle Ralof.
Look at you. Almost a grown man. Won't be long before you'll be joining
Look
the
at
fight
you!
yourself.
Just look at you!
Don't worry, Uncle Ralof. I won't let those soldiers sneak up on you.
Stop.
Now, Ralof, what's going on? You two look pretty well done in. I can't remember when I last slept. Where to start? Well, the news you heard about Ulfric was true. The Imperials ambushed us outside Darkwater Crossing. Like they knew exactly where we'd
Hard
be.
is staring death
was-
right at you.
2 days ago now. I
Heart does
stopped in
not
Helgen
trust
this
you.
morning, and I thought it was all
Heart
over.
is relentless.
Had us lined up to the
Heart
headsman's
will
block
never,
and ready
ever
to start
stop.
chopping.
The cowards.
They wouldn't dare give Ulfric a fair trial. Treason for fighting for your own people.
Dude,
All of Skyrim
I'm
would have
hiding
seen the
behind
truth
Ralof
then.
at this stage.
But then, out of nowhere, a dragon attacked.
You don't mean a real, live...
I can hardly believe
This is
it.
incredibly rude, but hey,
was there.
treasure chest. Iron Mace of Chills, unique tomahawk, some gold.
Does it sound?
Awesome. Let's see which mod added this. It's in my
Yeah, the
merge
front
artifacts pack, so I'm not really sure.
Confusion, we managed to
I
slip
would
away.
guess. No,
Are
I'm
we
not
really
sure.
the
I'll check
first to
later.
make it to Riverwood?
Nobody else has come up the
Unique
South
uniques,
Road
I
today,
think.
as far as I know.
Good. Maybe we can lay up for a while. I hate to put your family
Boy,
in danger, Gerda,
Griboag is a
but
creep.
Nonsense. You and your friend are welcome to stay here as long as you need to. Let me worry about the Imperials. Any friend of Ralof's is a friend of mine. Here's the key to the house. Stay as long as you like. If there is anything else you need, just let me know.
Alright, so Girder has offered us some initial supplies. That's good. We have our supplies now.
There is something you could do for me. For all of us here. The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever troops he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
Thanks, sister. I knew we could count on you.
I ought to get back to work before I missed, but did anyone else escape? Did Ulfric?
Don't worry. I'm sure he made it out. It'll take more than a dragon to stop Ulfric's Stormcloak. I'll let them into the house and, you know, show them where everything is.
Alright, a quick word on what Girder has just asked you to do. This does progress the main quest. You head to Whiterun, you give your little report to the Jarl, and the Jarl sends you on to do your thing for the rest of the game. But from the point of view of Griboag, who is on the run from the Imperials, going to a major town in Imperial-controlled territory, and yes, I know that technically Whiterun is a free city, but come on, look at every map. It's an Imperial-controlled city that's just pretending to be a free city. So going to a major town in an Imperial-controlled area, and going past all of those potential Imperial guards or soldiers, and then going to the frickin' Jarl and presenting yourself when you just escaped execution. That is insane. The Jarl is going to smile, say thank you, and if anyone in his court were to recognize you, you'd be right back in a dungeon within about 3 seconds. So, Grebo thinks what Gerder has just asked him to do is ridiculously above and beyond. Maybe he should talk to her about it a little bit more.
Help them drink up our mead, you mean? Good luck, brother. I'll see you later.
Don't worry about
I'm
me.
glad to help any way I can.
know how to lay low.
Ah. This line is added by Amorous Adventures. You know, it's been really lonely being in prison and held by the Imperials so long. And, well, Grebo is kind of aggressive, apparently. You are beautiful and self-reliant like your brother. I'm honored to know you. I shouldn't do funny voices.
Hello, friend. Make yourself at home.
Thank you for letting me stay in your home. Is there something I can do for you? Yeah, well, my character, Grebo, probably thinks this is his path to talking his way out of seeing the Jarl. Perhaps the next line will be something like, you know, this is a town full of people who aren't being hunted by the Imperials. Why not send that kid to talk to the Jarl? Or the blacksmith?
Why, thank you. You're very kind. There is something you could do for
I
me.
don't want to talk to the Jarl. You've been very kind and are a lovely woman. What would you have me do? Perhaps another time. All right, out of character. Perhaps another time ends the Amorous Adventures quest. This continues it. You've been very kind and you're a lovely woman. What would you have me do?
I've half a mind to ask if you'll crawl under some furs. I'll gladly share my pleasure with you. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that this is an episode of Vikings. Perhaps another time, or life in Skyrim can be short. We should take what pleasure and comfort we can. Look, Grebo is a very lonely man, and if she's okay with it and her husband is okay with it, he sees no reason not to accept a little Nordic hospitality. Life in Skyrim can be short, and we should take what pleasures we can. By the way, I have a ginormous tonker. I used a mod.
If you're interested, see my husband Hod.
Alright. Well, that didn't quite go the way
see
that
you.
my character was expecting, even if it went the way I was expecting. Let's talk to Han about this.
So you saw a dragon, did you? Tell me, what was it like? As big as a house?
Much bigger than that. As big as the inn. As big as my massive self-confidence.
Well, I'll be. That'd be a sight to see. Not that I actually want to see one, understand. I hope that dragon stays far away from here.
So do I.
Here for work? Get an axe, and bring me all the wood you can chop.
Your wife offered me her pleasure and comfort for helping Ralof. There are flaming wolves over there.
My wife is a good woman, not prone to flights of fancy. Anyone with a stout heart like yours is welcome here.
Are you okay with this? I would enjoy Gerder very much.
Take what you need, my friend. Within reason, of course.
All right. I think we'd better attend to those flaming wolves, but let's save first. Save. M. Adv. 01. And now, let's see what the heck was going on with flaming wolves. Everybody seems calm right now. I
strangers here in Riverwood.
That's a really cool effect, though. Hellhound. Let's loot that thing. Alvor. Good job, Alvor. And in case there are any flaming wolf carcasses around here that I've missed, let's use Loot Magnet. Oh, or actual flaming wolves that I've missed. I kind of regret having apparently included a mod that sends flaming wolves to murder the people of Whitewood.
I love a challenge! Victory or Sovngarde!
Alrighty then.
I told you my sister would help us out.
Well, we have a nice offer on the table from Gerder here for a little companionship. And a place to sleep, and my character is going to be tired soon. And we've taken care of some flaming wolves. So why don't we go do some crafting and then head over into this store, the Riverwood Trader, to sell off what we've created.
Well, one of us has to do something.
I said no! No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing!
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
We are done talking about this. Oh, a customer. Sorry you had to hear that.
All right, we have just seen an argument between the gorgeous
Maybe you could talk some
Camilla.
sense into my pig-headed brother.
Ah, brother, not husband. Note that. Her brother, Lucan, Valerius. And over here,
Need something?
we have Ma.B.R.E.L. Ma.B.R.E.L. is added by Immersive Wenches, and maybe we'll have a word
Yes.
with her later. But right now, we're going to be dealing with Lucan
What can I do for you?
and the absolutely gorgeous Camilla. Let's talk to Camilla first.
You're not from around here. That makes two of us.
My, my. Milady, charmed to meet you. Wow, Ma.B.R.E.L., you are really distracting.
Yes, hello.
Started the suitors of Camilla Valerius. You're quite lovely. Your radiance lights up the store. So, apparently Grebo was really lonely during his imprisonment, and who wouldn't be, really? You're quite lovely. Your radiance lights up the store, and I am a terribly lonely man.
Oh, thank you.
I'm terribly lonely, and I'm really frickin' direct. Camilla, maybe we could get to know each other a little better. I will eventually find the appropriate voice to read these in.
Don't get any ideas. The men here like my attention, and I like theirs.
My.
You should speak to Sven. Could you talk to F.E.M.A.L.E as well?
All right. So Camilla basically isn't interested in talking to Grebo until Grebo talks to her current suitors. Frankly, Grebo considers that a losing situation. So
All right,
for
then.
now, he's stepping away. Let's talk to Ma.B.R.E.L.
What can I do for you?
Ma.B.R.E.L. is added by Immersive Wenches. She has, as all wenches do, a couple of interesting options. First, Ma.B.R.E.L. is set to be able to give you rumors.
Have you seen that shrine of Azura? They say the Dark Elves built it after they fled from Morrowind. A sight to see.
She has some items
Let's
for
sate that
sale.
appetite, huh?
Nothing that great, but decent amount of food of various kinds. Plenty of rumors.
People say there's someone in Riften that can change your face, make you look completely different. Do you believe that?
And And finally, she has the hello option and the excuse me option. Hello is used with the immersive wenches in order to try to recruit them as followers. Now, Grebo has 0 chance right now of recruiting Mabral as a follower. Grebo's speech skill is quite low at the moment, and you need decent speech skill to recruit immersive wenches as followers. However, they're actually very tough fighters, and they have some custom spells that make great followers. Hello?
Huh?
Beauty, you are too good for this place. Hi. I was wondering if you could help me fight some bandits. I like what I see, and what I see is you. I was feeling a little off today, but you definitely turned me on. Wow, what options! Alright, well, I'm gonna go for the nice one, so to speak. Beauty, you are too good for this place.
Of course.
Well, I'm glad she agrees. I bet you're tired of serving these low lives. The Valerii, scum of the Empire, these two. Don't think I'm staring at your breasts. I'm staring at your heart. Wow. You know, if Grebo had more self-confidence, I definitely think he would pick this one. On the other hand, he's a mass-murdering illusionist. Let's go with self-confidence.
Don't do that!
Relax, don't get mad. I was just playing. That is cowardly. You should be grateful. I'm asking you to come with me. And that's being an ass. Wow. Cowardly or a pure ass? Cowardly, a pure ass. Cowardly we'll go with. Relax, don't get mad. I was just playing.
You expect me to believe that?
No, really I don't. Why don't you come with me? You know it will be fun. If you accept to come with me sometime, I will pay you. Yeah, no way I'm saying that one. Why don't you come with me? You know it will be fun.
It would seem so.
Oh, I'm glad you agree. And finally, we get the persuasion check. We can visit a lot of dungeons. Don't you want to fight and play with the undead? Wow, okay. You should be grateful I'm asking you to come with me. Look at my enormous Schwanenstocker. Wow, no. Come on. You don't need to play hard to get with me, wink.
Nah, I don't think so. Maybe you could talk some sense into my pig-headed brother.
Yes, I get it. You want me to talk to your boy?
You're not from around
I don't
here.
know what you overheard, but the Riverwood Trader is still open. Feel free to shop.
Where is Camilla? I hear her talking, but I do not see her. I hope she hasn't gone invisible on me or something. No, there she is, seated. Alright, let's talk to Lucan. Lucan got a little suspicious when I ran upstairs like that, as he should. So let's talk to Lucan a little.
The Riverwood Trader is everything you need in a general store.
Did something happen?
Yeah, we did have a bit of a break-in, but we still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing. An ornament, solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw.
As others have pointed out, it's ridiculous how attached Lucan and Camilla are to this ridiculous gold clog. It's not like they do anything with it, it just sits there on their countertop. But it's a big deal to them, and sometimes you don't argue with people. Especially in role-playing games, computer role-playing games. I could help you get the claw back, despite not being an adventurer and in fact being quite cowardly.
You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going to get those thieves, you should head to Bleak Falls Barrow, northwest of town. Yes. So now you don't have to go, do you?
Oh, really? Well, I think your new helper here needs a guide.
No, by the 8, fine. But only to the edge of town.
Well, The things a lonely man will do to get to know a pretty woman.
We have to go through town and across the bridge to get to Bleak Falls Barrow. You can see it from here, though. The mountain just over the buildings. Those thieves must be mad hiding out there. Those old crypts are filled with nothing but traps, trolls, and who knows what else.
Alright, traps, trolls, thieves. I did mention that I'm basically an academic,
You really
right?
think I can be a blacksmith someday, Papa?
Yeah, I'm, a
I
cowardly
wonder why they only
illusionist.
stole Lucan's golden claw. I mean, we have plenty of things in the shop
the
that are
other
worth
hand-
just as much coin. Lucan found the claw about a year after he opened the store. He never quite explained where he got it. It's a tricky one.
Did I see you talking to Sven? Maybe not. Maybe... Never mind. But I would stay away from him if I were you.
Fendal checked her out as she passed too, and who wouldn't really?
This is the bridge out of town. The path up the mountain to the
What a
northwest
great day.
leads to Bleak Falls Barrow. I guess I should get back to my brother. He'll throw a fit if I take too long. Such a child.
Yeah, badmouth your brother. You're a bad girl. Oh, sorry.
Mara bless you for agreeing to help us.
Well, this is definitely the Amorous Adventures dialogue. This will be dangerous. I do not want to die missing a woman's touch.
Oh, really? What kind of woman would do such a thing? Fine. Just this once.
Apparently that kind of woman. Wow, this is Griboag's best day ever. Seriously. Beautiful married woman invites him to share some furs. Her husband, completely okay with it. Now, Camilla Valerius spends a little bit of quality time with him on this bridge before he heads to Bleak Falls Barrow to risk his life. Actually, no, it's not the best possible day because it starts with someone trying to kill him. Then there's an escape. Then there's some sex. And now there's returning to people trying to kill him. It's actually a very uneven sort of day. Still, I'm fairly sure he's happy with this part of it. But back to Amorous Adventures. Camilla always kept her admirers at arm's length, but something about the stranger before her intrigued her. She allowed herself a moment of weakness and stepped close to the stranger, victim of a curiosity she couldn't control. Ah, my. Okay, now a quick word about Amorous Adventures. There are two versions of Amorous Adventures, a more or less safe for work version with just the text box, and that is available on the Nexus. It has most of the same quests that are in the full version of Amorous Adventures, but each encounter ends with a text box. It's a good choice if you prefer safe for work mods on your computer at home. It's a good choice if you are worried that your kids are going to be playing with your Skyrim install, or you otherwise just do not want nudity or sex in your Skyrim game. And it's still, even in the Safe for Work version, an incredible improvement over the storylines of the vanilla NPCs and the vanilla quests. And as you can see, the quality of writing is excellent. The other version, the full version, is available on Lover's Lab. And again, there will be a link to that in the mod description. Not the mod description, I'm sorry. There will be a link to that in the video description. So you're going to get links to both. Just click on See More or Show More underneath the video, and you'll see links to the most important mods in every game session, including Amorous Adventures. Meanwhile, we are going to end this particular session of Oak&IV Skyrim in just a few minutes. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching and ask you to please like and subscribe. And meanwhile, let's say goodbye to Camilla. And I guess that's going to be that.
You're not from around here. That makes two of us.
Well, Camilla, it has been more than a pleasure.
I came here from the Imperial Province to work with my brother Lucan.
There's a lot more to Camilla Valerius's Amorous Adventures quest than this. This is only the first part of her quest. But we're not going to be doing the rest of her quest for quite some time because, and this is the sad truth, our hero, Griboag, is kind of a bastard. You see, what Griboag wants most is to find the School of Spellcasting in Icicle Valley. And in order to get to the School of Spellcasting for Icicle Valley, he's already been through hell. He's been arrested by the Imperials, etc., etc. He doesn't really want to risk his life in Bleak Falls Barrow. He doesn't care about the Golden Claw, and while he will be breaking a deep and meaningful commitment to Camilla Valerius, that deep and meaningful commitment, while it was very pleasant, it really is the kind of send-off you give to a hero. And Griboag is kind of not. And with that, thank you guys so much for attending this episode, for watching this episode of Oak&IV Skyrim. This was episode 1A. Please check for episode 1B, and that'll get us back to episode 2, where we will finally be back to where we were before I decided I had to fix these sound problems. Thank you guys a lot, and please like and subscribe. See you next time.